Okay, particle emitter. I got a special video about that. Okay, since you guys have been waiting for this for a long time, especially me, of course. So I'm gonna explain this properly. Okay, you guys need to watch this full video. Okay, so I'm gonna just go. Character block. Configure. Now you can find this particle emitter right here. Now you can see that there's like a lot of settings right there. Limbs, orientation type. What is orientation? What is emission direction? What is flipbook? What is flipbook mode? What is flipbook frame rate? And other stuff. Okay. And there's also like a lot of things. Cancel stuff. Okay. So I'm gonna explain everything properly. First of all, you guys probably know projectile tag means it's gonna be detached to a projectile. Okay. Last hit, I don't need to explain this. Now, part size is something, it's like an attachment, okay? So, for example, if I just do it right now, you can see like there's like a few small things coming out of my body. Yeah, you see? See, I like it's going in it's like in the middle, right? But so it's gonna come up from the middle, from the same place. And part size is basically, if you wanna like have your particles spawn in different areas. For example, if I want to spawn in at 5, 5, and 5. Okay, now watch. See how it's like spawning at different areas now? 5 there, and 5 there. Okay, so part size is basically like where you want to spawn it properly and adjust it there. Okay, and texture, you just need to get the texture from marketplace and paste it right there. Okay, you just need to do that. Now, emit count and rate. Emit count or rate are some sort of like together, like they work together. Okay, so the thing is, emit count is basically how much to emit at once, like how many particles you want to emit at once, you want to spawn at once. The duration must be 0. You can see it's written. Okay, so if I make it 15, it's gonna spawn like a lot of 15 emit at once. See? But if I make it 1, only 1. But if I make it 5, it's gonna spawn 5. See? Okay, that's good. Now, rate is basically changes how much particles per second are emitted. Like how many particles per second are emitted. Okay. Now this one like was at once, but this one is per second. So if I make it like 20, but as far as I know, rate is kind of work like that, like how much particles per second are emitted. Okay, or maybe I might be wrong, maybe I just kind of forgot, but particles per second only active if duration is 0. Okay, duration is 0. Okay, yes, my bad guys, I forgot the duration. Yeah, it works with duration. If the duration is more than 0, then rate will take place and emit count would not work at all. Okay, yeah, and duration, for how long it stays. Color. Now, color gradient. Now, how to paste color gradient. Now, you can see there's like a 2 section I mean. This is Y8 and this is 0. Okay, but if I make it 100, 100, and 100, see how it's gradiently going there? So, this one is the left side and this one is the right side gradient, okay? So, be careful with that. For example, I want to make it 0, 0, red, yellow. Now, check. See how it's a bit red, yellow, red, white now? Red, white now, my bad. Now, size is basically, it's like a number sequence. Now, as I've told you in the stream, it's like, this is the start. Like, my size should be 1 at the start, but at the end, which is, my end, when it should go fade out. So basically, take it as a fade in. This is fade in, and this is fade out. Okay? But, you can add more sequences. For example, now I want to make it 0. Now 3 is basically my middle of the size. Now see, it's gonna grow even more bigger. See, now it's gonna go 0. See how it's going see how it's going back. Okay, it's fading out. So it's more like a fading out thing you can use as well, like making it big and small. So the more number sequence you add, the better it is. So you can just make it like that. Fade, so start, end. But then that becomes the middle. More and more, and you can just keep on doing this to create your cool animation or I mean VFX. I mean, now transparency is the same as size. Okay, same as size. It's just not size but transparency. That's all. I don't need to explain that. Squash is basically same as them as well, but it's more like you can squash it, you can squeeze it, you can like just basically the XYZ, you know, the XYZ stuff, where you can make it thin or like lengthy, you know. So you can just do that. For example, I want to make it 5. Now check. See how? Ooh, whoa! That's kind of aura though. Not gonna lie. Okay, now lifetime. Lifetime is basically it's like a minimum and max, not like a forever thing. So for that, you gotta make it so like minimum or at least minimum of the VFX should end in 0.5 second, but maximum, almost maximum of the VFX particle should end in 1. Okay, like per second. Like lifetime, you can see particle lifetime in second, minimum and max. Okay, speed, I don't need to tell you, it's just a speed of how fast your particle emitter go. Rotation, no need to explain. Rot speed is basically rotation speed. Okay, it's the speed of the rotation with the minimum and max. Okay, acceleration is basically XYZ. Okay, XYZ, like how fast, where you want to go. It's like a motion, like how, you know how like position is, you position. It's basically that. Acceleration is basically position, like how it's just go front, back, like it's just the motion stuff. Okay, now drag basically slows down the particle depending on the speed, the acceleration speed of it. Okay, so for example, I have my my z as 5, right? 5. Now if I go, you can see it's going up there. But if I make it 5, it's gonna slow it a bit down, like a bit down. It's gonna slow it a bit down. So I think, yeah, it works like that. Okay, now light emission and light influence is basically glow of the VFX and the lighting affecting. So light emission is basically how glowy you want your VFX to be. So for me, I want to make it 1. Now see how it's a bit more glowy now. I want to make it 5, even more glowy. But influence is basically, does it interact with the lighting, with the graphics of the game, with the environment? Okay, does it affect? No. So if it affects, then 1. If it doesn't affect, then make it 0. Okay, that's all. So as you can see how much lighting affects the particle. Okay, that's all. Now Z offset is basically how far the VFX is from the starting point. So if I make it 2, then see it was a bit back. See, it was like a bit back. You see that? Now spread angle is basically like where the particle actually spread, like in a random direction. For example, I want to make it 2, 6, and 5. Okay. Now it's gonna spread out my animation instead of going in one place. Let me just clear up the acceleration real quick so it stays quiet. See how it's just going a different direction instead of just being a bit on the one place. Okay, it's really good, trust me, it's really good. So you can just do that. You can just make it spread out to a random angles. Okay, position of the is just the position of the particle emitter. Now lock to part is basically if you want the VFX to be locked to a part, a certain part, a selected limb. Okay, so here you can see a human or root part is selected. If I make it turn on, then it's gonna stay with my head. You can see it's only working on my head now. Let's go like that. But if I turn it off, see how it's just flowing back? Yeah, so it basically reveals it or anchors it on the body part. Okay, only if you do not want it to disappear. For example, if you want to make like auras, like how Nanami's ultimate is, then just turn on lock to part, humanoid torso, and yeah, do this. Now it's gonna stay with you forever. Yeah, for aura stuff, it's gonna be really helpful. Now orientation type is basically how you look at it, like how it does it look to you for your camera. Facing camera is basically let me just make it a bit big. So now see now see if facing camera is basically like it looks the same from every direction. It doesn't matter where you look at it. Facing camera world up is basically, it will look weird from looking up. See how it's like that, but from here it's like okay. So it's gonna from up there it's gonna look a bit like weird as thin, but from here it's gonna look fine. Okay. Now velocity parallel is basically parallel to the velocity. It depends on like where the velocity is. Let's see. It's just basically a parallel to the velocity vertical. It's like a vertical thing. Vertical. It's vertically aligned. That's all. And velocity perpendicular is basically horizontal. Basically the velocity parallel but horizontal. This one. See, now you can see how this is. Yeah, see? Now how it's like that. Yeah, so you guys can probably understand that easily. No need to show you anything about it. Now emission direction is basically how the particle is emitted as or at, okay? So like top is gonna, or bottom is gonna, from the bottom it's gonna go down. See how it's gonna go down? Front is gonna go for front. Back is gonna go back. It's like where it should go, okay? Where it should emit, okay? I'm gonna go top. Now Flipbook size is basically the size of the Flipbook. Flipbook is also, it's basically a layout for VFX, which is really good, okay? Now, for example, if I wanted to make 1, 0, 2, okay, no, 0 to 1, okay? Now there's a lot of Flipbook modes like loop, one shot, ping pong, random. One shot is basically it shots the Flipbook at once, okay, at once, okay. And now loop is basically it loops the Flipbook depending on the Flipbook frame rate, okay, which I'll go to, okay. Now ping pong is basically it runs the Flipbook and it runs it back from the end of the start. So you can see from here. Well, yeah, you don't seem to like see any changes. I know, it's a bit interesting way. Well, I don't really kind of know how to use the Flipbook properly. And random is basically like randomized, that's all. And for example, if I make it 60, like 60 FPS. Now if I make it short, see how fast it was like squashing and everything, okay? But I think you guys know how Flipbook will work properly, so I think you guys got it. You can just do some testing and you can just finally figure out by yourself, okay? Now emitter shape is basically what type of part you want it to do, like work on, okay? Like box, cylinder, disc, and sphere, okay? Like it depends on how you want it to emit it, okay? And now it basically it changes to where the particles are inward, like emitted, okay? Now it's outward. I'm gonna press inward. Now it's gonna go from the inward. See? It's gonna go in instead of going out, and both. Now it's gonna go both sides. See? Which is really cool. Really cool. Okay. Now shape partial changes how the shape is. Okay. It changes how the shape is, and this only works with parts with not having part size as 0, 0, 0, okay? If you have your part 0, 0, 0, a lot of things wouldn't really work properly, okay? Including this. Now run on server is basically it just runs on the server. Client-sided, you know what client-sided does, okay? And cancel tag is basically if you want to cancel a particle emitter, you know. And cancel is basically changes the purpose of the particle to only cancel another one. Like if another one spawns in, it just cancels it, okay? And cancel on interrupt is basically it cancels the particle if the original user gets hit, okay? Now I think that's pretty much it. I think you guys pretty much understood what it means, okay? Make sure to check the orientation types. These settings especially, and also teleport. No, not teleport. I mean, where is it? Texture matters a lot. Texture matters a lot. Okay, a lot. So yeah, if you guys have any other issues, let me know in the comment section. If I couldn't explain the thing properly, it's my mistake. I could try to re-explain again in DMs if you guys have problems. So yeah, that was pretty much it, and thanks for watching.